So one thing I always battle with when it comes to stuff like that, not that, because everyone's threshold as far as what they can take will be completely different. What you can handle is much different than what you can handle. And on that same note is you also have to have sympathy to each person, because if Lex can handle a 9 out of 10 pressure, right? And then the next person, let's just say you, as an example, you can handle a 2 out of 10 pressure. You can't compare the two though. Welcome back to the Detailing Business Class podcast, where you'll learn proven tactics and strategies on sales, marketing, and operations to grow your business. I'm your host, Oscar Gill, and my goal is to elevate you as a detailer and business owner to the next level. The winter season is almost over, which means it's time for the spring rush. And all of us are going to be a lot busier because our schedule is going to get booked out, because now with the nicer weather, a lot more people want to get their vehicle detailed and want to get on the schedule. So for us to manage the big rush, we're using Jobber. We've been using it in our business for the last 4 years now. And when it comes to scheduling customers, keeping track of their information, sending out invoices, the employees clocking in and out, or sending appointment confirmations, and a lot of other things, all of that is done through Jobber, whether it's on our mobile app when we're out in the field, or we are scheduling customers at our shop in the office. We use Jobber on a daily basis, and we have been doing that for the last 4 years. If you want to streamline your operations, you can get a free 14-day trial plus 20% off your first 6 months with Jobber. You can click the show notes, or if you're watching this on YouTube, click the description box down below and get started. Let's go ahead and get into the podcast episode. And welcome back to another podcast episode. I have my good friends, coworkers, partners, Angel and Lex.
What's up?
And today we're going to talk about one topic called burnout. So we're going to see, have any of us experienced burnout, what we did to overcome that burnout, and just overall, where are we both physically and mentally with our work, right? So first and foremost, what's your definition, Angel? Angel's our full-time employee here, also a friend, also a funny guy, also does raps and tints. Angel, what is your definition of burning out?
So burning out, I think it's just when you're out in the field and you're mentally overwhelmed. You start to lose track of time. You start to lose track of what you're doing. You're just heavily overwhelmed with just tons and tons of work. You've been working 6 every single day of the week, and you just feel like you can't keep going. You've burnt out, like quite literally.
Yeah. Lex, what's your definition of burnout?
Yeah, for me, it's more of like you're just extremely tired. Like you need a rest day. You need to relax. You need to sleep. Something like that. Like he said, you just can't keep going anymore.
Have you ever experienced burnout, like in high school? Because you're 19, so you've only been out of school for 2 years now. Mm-hmm. So have you personally ever experienced burnout? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Have you in high school? What you did, dude?
In high school?
Yeah.
No, not in high school.
Yeah, I'm saying because you only have so much data to work with, right? You only have.
Yeah. Not in high school.
Yeah, but have you experienced burnout as of recently? Because you've been in business for call it a year.
Yeah.
Do you think you've experienced burnout to any degree?
Yeah, probably like last month when I had that booked out day. That week was just hectic. It was just every day. Detail, nonstop. 7 days.
For a whole week?
Yep. Every single day there was a detail.
And at the end of that week, you felt burnt out?
Yeah. Like on Monday, I had a seat shampoo, and I was just...
That's already from working a full week?
Yeah.
You gotta give us context. We have no idea what your schedule was.
So, yeah, it was just... started working on Tuesday here. We work Tuesday to Saturday. Okay. Normal hours. I don't know how many hours that is. Maybe 40. I don't know. Sometimes when I clock out, it says 8 hours. I'm like, all right, 8 hour days. Yeah. Assuming it was that.
Okay. Had to be.
Yeah.
Had to be if you're burnt out. Yeah.
Let's just say 40-hour week. And then I had we get off on Saturdays at 2.
Ish, yeah.
Ish.
And then I had a maintenance detail at my house at 5.
That same day.
That same day.
Okay.
And then Saturday I had another maintenance detail. Just one.
Okay.
On a F-150. And then Sunday was the day that I fully booked out. So I had a wash and wax in the morning, then interior, and then wash and wax in the afternoon. And yeah.
Full interior?
No,
No, wash and wax and then a full into.
That was Saturday or Sunday?
that was Sunday.
Oh, Sunday and Monday.
And then Monday I had the nasty sea shampoo.
Right. And then Tuesday right back into the full work week.
Yeah.
Oof.
So Monday was the day where I was just like, man, I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
so I literally finished the sea shampoo and I just laid down. I didn't do nothing for the rest of the day.
Yeah, which I was talking to Caesar about this in the when we shot the last podcast episode. It's not out yet, but that's one thing we were talking about being around people that are kind of further than you in what you're doing. So like if we're doing fitness, it's good to have someone that's like 6 months or 6 years ahead of you, because even though it might be 6 months ahead of you, like they know more than what you do, right?
Yep.
If it's in business, it'd be good to have someone that has more experience, has more customers, because they know more than you, flat out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I always battle with when it comes to stuff like that, not that, because everyone's threshold as far as what they can take will be completely different. What you can handle is much different than what you can handle. And on that same note is you also have to have sympathy to each person, because if let's say if Lex can handle a 9 out of 10 pressure, right? And then the next person, let's just say you, as example, you can handle a 2 out of 10 pressure. You can't compare the two though, because if that's your threshold of 2 of 10, like that's what it is, you know? Yeah. So it's also wrong to be like, it's also wrong to say, oh, well, I've done a lot more, so how can you be tired, right? Because that's a very old school kind of like, you know, it's like, well, that's what you can handle, but I'm not, for lack of better, I'm not built like that, you know? Mm-hmm. So on that same note, it's like, it's a fine line that I try to walk between, and I think for everyone, well, it depends who you are, unless you're just like a jerk. Because like, based on what you just said, right, of your burnout, going back to what Caesar and I were talking about, like it's important to have someone that's ahead of you. Or not only that, same thing that I always say about working out is that it's good to have someone there to tell you can do more, because what you think you're maxed out on is actually not what it is. And just having someone, so to that degree, it's like if me hearing that, I'm like, I think I did that for about like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like that, what you just said, 2 weeks, I did that for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Never, not once, felt anything of burnout.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of interesting to see like it's like where is that fine line between, because I no one could be like, bro, you're being a little wussy, like go work more, right? Yeah. Because if that's what you can handle, but at the same note though, on that same coin, you have to kind of realize, and not you, but I'm saying in general, it's like, well, could I actually take on more too though? Is it a mental hurdle? Is it a physical hurdle? Is it something that like would you say, not you don't have to answer it, but I'm saying like as a question that I would ask myself is this the full capacity that my body and mind can handle? So oftentimes, again, going back to that 2 year stretch of like just straight like, bro, that's what I did like every day, right? Like every day, just like doing everything that I can to like just move a little forward. I'd always think back to like World War II. Everything I do is World War II related, as far as like where I get my inspiration, motivation, right? So to me, like my standard is always like, well, dang, like World War II, like what everyone went through and whatever, reading all these stories, whatever. So to me, it's like, bro, like
what we're doing is
easy,
like
easy work. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but also like our parents, like your parents, I'm sure too, coming from where they are to the United States and all that. So it's so that's my perspective of how I have things. So like it's a fine line between, like that's where, but then at the same time, and I'm speaking more for myself of like.
Yeah, I got that too.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a hurricane coming at us right now, actually. So it's also, it's just an interesting thing when it comes to that, because again, like no one is no one to say you can do more, like you're being a little wussy.
This reminds me of whenever I started working with you, and it kind of moved on to what I see now from you. When he would book out the schedule like packed, and I would panic because I've never done that, and it would be like back to back 30-minute lunch break, detailing every day for a week, and I was like, holy, like
yeah.
And now
I tell you that
I'm able to do that now, and now you tell me that.
I tell.
And it's kind of like
I look at the schedule for the next day, and I'm like, hey, bro, you good?
Like, I have 2 cars in the day. Whoa!
I look at it like, all right, we're not having lunch tomorrow.
See, but that's the interesting thing though. Like that's the fine line between like when I talk to someone, it's like you can't impose your your level of whatever it is, but at the same time, like, it's good to motivate, inspire, to soak in what that other person does, because like from what you guys just said, like when me and Anthony were working together, still like 2-3 customers per day in the HHR with no setup, just like hauling everything in and out.
Yeah,
bro, none of us ever had a qualm of doing all that work. Like it was never like I pick him up, bro, we just go knock it out.
Yeah.
Like don't use the restroom the whole day, pass by Jack in the Box, eat on the way to the next car, like hot as hot, like.
Yeah.
But it's like it was never even a thought of like we're tired or like it's like
it's just
bro,
we're
just doing it. And I don't say this to boast about it or anything. I'm just saying like it's just like interesting to see the different scales of how people operate. But and also for people that are hiring, or even like for Lex too, is like I would never impose. Well, actually, sometimes I do, right? Like if we're slow and you're tired and it's like it's a busy day, I'm like, hey, bro, move a little faster, dog. Like I know you're tired, but like, no, we got to get to these cars, right?
Yeah,
sure. But if like even with you, Lex, right? The time that you were burnt out or that you were tired, if you would say that as much as I didn't like it, right? At the time, not that I freaking hit him or anything, but I'm saying like, but when you would say like, hey, I'm burnt out. I would be like, hey, like let's try to let's slow down the schedule, because like I don't want you to get burnt out. Like I've always asked you like, hey, wherever you are, whenever it's too much, let me know, because it's not fair to impose what I would want on him, if that's like. So it's a very communicative thing, because now you would look like, if he's like, hey, I'm getting whatever, like now you have a different perspective of like, oh, he's getting, okay, watch, like let me, because we finessed and whatever. So it's like a very like fine line of, because then you don't want to be a jerk and be like, no, but it's a schedule, like because obviously someone is burning out. So like, what have you done? Or let me ask you now: have you been burnt out? Have you been burnt out?
I've been burnt out. Yes. More a lot of stress. This was burnt me out. Mine's more mental. A lot of stress. Yeah, just with everything in life, and at the same time work, like booked out schedule, making sure my employees are good to go for the next day. Make sure like the van is all good to go. Make sure we're all good on inventory. Cancellations here and there. You gotta book someone in last minute, walk-ins. When we used to be really busy, especially in summertime, just all that, like every day at once, dealing with all those problems at once every day for like weeks, months.
And also a big one too is on the personal level too.
Yeah,
like that added a major amount of stress.
That was
we won't go over but saying like when you're trying to run your own business, when you're responsible for everything, and then something big personally happens in a negative way, that's like the worst situation that you could be in, because not only are you fully responsible for your own finances and like your own lifestyle, but it's like, but that their own personal lifestyle is also like kind of folding in, and it's like that's just like the worst, like that's the worst 1-2 punch ever. That's the worst of the worst that you can handle.
A lot of mental stress.
Yeah. So and like and imagine at least at a minimum, right? You were stressed because like, oh dang, there's a lot of work. Oh dang, there's a lot of like customers. Oh dang, there's like, right?
We're trying to grow the business at the same time.
But
like, I had to get a whatever 10,000-15,000 this month. Yeah, stuff like that.
But what would be even worse is that you go through that personal problems. And you ain't got no customers. You ain't got no money. Like, at least at a minimum, right? It's like, hey, we're trying to hit 12,000. Okay, let me try to get through this. Whereas like, you're not making any money. Then you get the personal. That's a big one too. Yeah.
Worse.
That's like a depressive.
That's pretty hard. Which like I think most of us, I went through there too. Like just straight broken. Like so moving forward, like after that little burnout, did that shine some light on anything that you do differently moving forward?
Well, I definitely sleep more now, 100%.
The importance of sleep.
No, like I think. Well, that was also a time where like I was, like how Lex said, just stressed with like other issues. I think like there's more factors.
Like what? No, I'm just
kidding. I definitely think there's more factors to burnout than other than just like being mentally drained. Like Lex said, issues here or in life. So I think for sure that was happening at that time when I really felt that burnout. It was like 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. But I think for sure now after that, I just prioritize sleep. Like I have to sleep, man.
A root cause to mostly everything: stress, anxiety, depression. Is
everything.
Lack of sleep. Lack of sleep is a major component. It's just like being healthier.
But now I just prioritize that. you know, and yeah, I can get through it fairly well.
Do you think that made you just a little more like tougher to take on things now? Going through that, figuring it out.
In a way, yeah, because at the end I was like, well, I got
like,
through it.
I feel like you could take on more now.
Oh yeah, like
you know,
like I could probably do it again.
Yeah. But now you know. But now you know what to do. Like, you know.
Yeah, like yeah.
What about you, Lex? Moving forward to that, I mean, especially for you, because we know like what you've been through. Like, what? So for context, just like imagine like Lex was at the lowest of low. Just keep it there. But like now moving forward, do you have a better perspective on what you to do?
Absolutely.
And what's yours?
Yeah. Now I know exactly what to do. Not just what to do, but how to get through it, how to come out of it, you know, and be okay. Yeah. It definitely teaches you some
little
things.
synopsis. What would that be like? What helped you like moving forward? Like if you get into another predicament of like stress, whatever, like what would you do to get out of it?
Just relax, back off, and talk to you. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, basically.
No, it's for real.
No, yeah.
I got the answer.
Or I just talk to someone.
Yeah. That's true. Because bottling anything in, it's pretty hardcore.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's
like,
what I was trying to say.
You have to. There's like this emotion that's in you that like it has to be spoken to something, to someone.
Nah, for sure. Yeah. I agree with that 100%.
Let it out.
I think that was really when I first started like my business, and then I hated my previous job. Man, like I held so much in, like as far as like just like hate and anger towards people that work there.
Because I remember at one point in time where like I was I forgot where I was working, but like I was basically on my own at the office, like at the job that I had, and then I'd go detail afterwards. And basically like from like I'd get there like at 8 a.m. and then I'd clock out like at 5, and then I would go detail or something. But I would just remember like basically the whole day I wouldn't talk to anyone. Like I wouldn't open my mouth to like say words. And when it'd be like 7 o'clock, I'd get back to my room, and I would just be like, hello, like I would just talk, and it'd be so weird because like I wasn't have any human interaction, and at the time like you know like you're feeling low, you're feeling down, it's like it's just this weird like social interaction is a big. That's why I'm also big on like having a team, because like bro, just like being able to like every day knowing that you're gonna go and like work with cool people and like you know. Like you're gonna have a good time. Like it's just like it's uplifting,
game changer for sure.
Just like hanging out with the boys, you know.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah. So for me, I'll wrap it right here and then we go work out for 3 minutes. Yeah. So for me, I've never. So burnout to me, my definition of burnout is like when you completely just lose passion and drive for the one thing you wanted to do. So to me, I've been tired, I've been gassed out, I've been like so mentally mush that I can't think right. But I've never, that's why I don't consider it burnout, because like I would still go in and do my best that I can. If I get to that point where like, I'm like, damn, I'm mentally just fogged, I would just take like a half day off, take a nap, rest up, and then get back at it again. But I've never once, so to me, the main definition of burnout is when you can no longer not want to, but you can't even look at that thing to do it. To me, that's what I consider burnout. Because tired, I'm being tired. You know, like if I'm somewhere at 7 to 7 and then a heavy workout and then go back to the apartment to work, I'm gonna get tired. Like 100%, I'm gonna get tired. You know, but like that's one of the things where you just kind of push through to like it is what it is. You know, and granted, a big part of it is on what you want to achieve in life with your goals, right? That's what I'm saying. Like for people that are like, not everyone doesn't have to build this like huge business, because if you can't handle that level of pressure, then like, it makes sense to just to do what best fits your level of whatever you can actually handle. You know.
Yep.
Okay, we'll keep it simple, nice and easy. Angel, Lex,
short and sweet.
Thank you for coming to the episode. About to go work out now. It's currently 5:30, I think. So okay, we'll end it right here.
All right.
Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one.
See you
later.